Hello, everybody. It's Kim Croker here of Stampin' with Kim Arlene, and I wanted to make a quick, easy, fun card with you using Stampin' Write markers. Now, I had done a post yesterday, I think it was, about the Stampin' Write markers and how to refill them. And Stampin' Write markers are something I don't use as often as I should, and it's really cool because you can actually color your Stampin' Write markers right on your stamp, and then just stamp that as usual. You can get multicolored images and it's really fun and it's quick and easy. The trick is if you're taking a long time to do your coloring, to breathe on your stamp, just kind of go on top of the stamp, and that will sort of reset the ink, not reset it, reactivate it so that it can work properly. Anyway, here's what we're going to do today is this card here. And I have used Quiet Meadow, and I also used one of the dies from called Meadow dies. This is a really great set of dies with all sorts of flowers and a butterfly and a couple of labels. It's great, but you could use this with any stamp set and any die set. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Write markers to start with. So what I'm going to do is to take my block, and I'm just going to color using the brush end of each of these. That's the wider end. And because I've got 6 markers, I'm going to go about a 1/6 of the way across. Now, the outside of these you probably know, but just in case you don't, have a line on them. The wide line there is for the brush end, and the narrow line is for the typical marker blend. Now, when you're doing this, you can overlap if you are going from light to dark, but these right now are going dark to light, so I'm leaving a tiny bit of a space there, although it's kind of hard to see. Let me have a look at that. It's great to have white paper underneath here, and then you can see a little bit more easily what it is that you are doing. The colors that I've used are Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Coastal Cabana, I believe, yes, and then Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. Oh, Leah, hi. Thanks for stopping in. This is so fast. I've only done this a couple of times, but it's really fun. We'll see if it works for me today. Once though you've got all of the marker colors on there, you're going to, you can put this over a paper towel, or you can do it right on your paper if you want to, but I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to spritz it a few times. And then I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and just turn it over and put it a little higher than middle. You get a different image each time with these. This one's going to take a little bit longer to dry because I used a fair bit of water on it. And I'm going to, at the bottom of this, put a sentiment. This is also from the Quiet Meadow. Sorry, I like how Stampin' Up! Now has our dies and stamp sets with the same name. It makes it much easier to keep track of them. And this is a Thinking of You card, which I find very handy because you can use it for anything. Just going to wipe that block before I get anywhere. And then the last part of this, well, not the last part, but an important part, is there, as I mentioned, there's all sorts of the flowers, stems of flowers in here that you could use. I wanted one that was fairly small, so I did cut out this one, which I'll show you. And then I'm going to use this one here that I did in my sample card. And I'll just bring out my, oops, that's okay. I thought I put it over top of the wet ink, which would be very typical of me. Okay, I'm just going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Yeah, it's a favorite of mine too, Leah. And like I say, I just keep forgetting about it, but it's fun. And yeah, it's not your typical, everybody has the same card for sure. All right, I've used a bit of the artist's low-tack tape to hold that die in place. As you can see, I was being a little thrifty with my cardstock, but why not, hey? And I'm just going to poke out a couple of holes here, and then I'll bring my silicone mat back in because I'm really bad at getting glue everywhere. And the nice thing about if you get it on your silicone mat is it's easy to clean up. A couple more spots back there. All right. Ooh. Oops, that's a bit big. Now you can, this glue, less is more, I've heard, which works really well because I have a tendency to get way too much glue, and this glue you really only do need a tiny bit. I'm just putting a tiny little strip of glue or just dots when it, that works better. Hopefully this is dry enough. I think what I would do if I wasn't doing a live, I'd either have another one on hand, which I don't, or I'd use my heat tool, which isn't out at the moment. And then I'm just going to glue this over to the right hand edge. The previous one, I kind of went right exactly at the edge, and that just looked a little too, I don't know, contrived. All right, so there's that part done. And you'll see that those, even though I've used the same colors, they come out quite differently. You'd be able to see better if I held it in camera, right? Oh boy. All right, and then I'm going to put some glue on the back of that. So my cardstock, the white cardstock, is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm putting that on a black piece, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then onto a regular card base, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, I think I want that. I should have dried that. All right, I'm just going to press down with my stamp block. Yeah, that should have been dried first. All right, now you know what not to do. And then I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this and put on my card base, which is Highland Heather. Make sure first that I have it opening the right way. After you guys are gone, I'm probably going to take this off and put a whole bunch of glue on the back. All right, and then I've got our Tinsel Gems 3-pack. This has Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Lost Lagoon. Yes, and I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia on here because they're close in color. Put one there. Usually I do these in odd numbers, most typically in 3s, and making a triangle with them. I thought there were 3 different sizes of these, but I think there's 2. Yeah. All right, and there we go. That's the card. So how many minutes is that? That was really quick. 8 minutes. And that's with doing something wrong as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that card. Give it a try. Like I say, you can use this with any colors of Stampin' Write markers, and with any stamp sets and any dies that are kind of like a silhouette. That usually works quite well. I was going to say something else. Can't think of what it was. Anyway, try this and let me know. Show me a picture if you make one. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.